What up, y'all? I wanted to talk about something that I wanted Arrington to be in this video because Arrington is really, really good talking about self-love. You guys see how much I talk about the grind and work on yourself and blah, blah, that I definitely forget to love myself. I 100% just get so lost in goal chasing and the process that self-love becomes secondary because I feel like I need to earn it, and every second I'm not there, it just is on my back. Now, I will say this. I also feel like that's kind of who I am because I just have that dog in me, I feel like I just really want that. So like that gives me happiness as much as like a spa day would give someone else happiness. You see what I'm saying? But also he brought up, he said today, said the phrase, loving yourself conditionally. Or you asked me like, do you feel like you love yourself conditionally? And I was just like, absolutely, I love myself conditionally. I love myself. I think that the days where I don't prove it to myself that I'm worthy of my own love, days that I have where I do that, like I am not loving myself unconditionally. When I don't work out, I don't feel like I love myself. If I don't work out, I don't love myself as much that day because I feel so good doing that and I feel so good about myself doing that when I don't do it, I feel like a lesser version of myself. If I hung around and if I didn't upload a video all day, I'd probably feel like a bum. I don't do that because I'm on it, but like if I ate like shit one day, I would not feel as worthy of my self-love. I wouldn't go to bed feeling like a champ because self-love to me really just means, do I feel like a champ? That's like if I feel like the man. And so I totally think that I have been loving myself conditionally, and I think that's something that I definitely need to work on. I do recognize that I like having that fire on my ass to where I want to be better, but also I recognize how that could not be a great way to go to walk on the path towards where I want to go, on my path towards righteousness, by having to make myself love myself while I'm also trying to make myself get to my goals. Because then I'm fighting two battles. I'm fighting the battle for what I want out of life, and I'm fighting for my own love. And I think that can make it harder for me. So Arrington, that's how I feel about how I love myself conditionally. What are your thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts. So I realized that,
and by the way, this is my friend Arrington. It's my name, but without the C. And my very, very smart
it's
friend.
my name with the C.
Then that's my name. Okay.
Okay, you guys, I'm about to get into it, so y'all gotta make sure y'all stay. I'm gonna go outside of a box. I'm gonna rip it up. I'm gonna
rip it up. To you. I'm gonna deliver it.
I'm not saying that what
I'm gonna get some water. Go.
Okay.
Go. Keep talking.
So I'm not saying what Carrington is thinking is wrong, because you can believe a lie and still it becomes true to you. So sometimes when people be like, live your truth, it's not even necessarily that what they're believing in is true. It's just that it's true to them because that's what they tell themselves. Okay, when you love truly, when you love unconditionally, and this is the love that God has taught me, is that it lives outside of your emotions. So you realize, whenever I was talking to Carrington, he was just saying like, whenever I don't do this, I feel this way. Whenever I do this, I feel this way. And it's because self-love, just like any other love, is supposed to feel, it's not about a feeling, but it's about a mindset. And so the minute people realize that even when it comes to self-love being discipline does not always mean you do everything the right way at all times. Discipline means you show up sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you always put in the same amount of input. So even whenever the output is unstable at times, you're still getting an output. Like you're still trying. Like you still woke up that day. You didn't go to the gym, but you still are making an effort, even just by thinking about like,
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What did you want to finish that last thought, or you feel good?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that you can still love yourself even if you haven't put in the work, but your mind is in that place of, I care about this, I want to be in that place? Do you think that's, because to me that sounds like giving yourself grace for being lazy if you don't do something. It feels like, okay, yeah, I can say I love myself after
Mhm.
I, ate Wendy's, all 3 meals and, watched movies and, went to bed at 4.
Mhm.
That sounds okay, yeah, I can love myself for doing that, but
Mhm.
that it makes, I struggle with feeling that because I feel like I really wouldn't know I was giving my best to the world and I demand the best of myself.
Mhm. Well, I do think that there is a balance of like we were talking about this earlier about how when it comes to self love, like you do need to have a level of self discipline to where you are showing up every day. It may not be in the same amount of input as it is normally, but what I've grown to realize is that like you can't allow your grace to excuse your laziness. What? I'm not blind. I can still see. Clock that
Me. Could have fooled me.
But what I really want to say is that like I'm still learning the balance of the grace, because the grace does not make up for me loving myself. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna get to my goals any faster. It's just that when I do get to my goals, the love doesn't change because I didn't put it off.
Mm-hmm. Do you think?
So there is a balance of like getting the wagon going while loving myself through it all, and just like any relationship with anyone, you're not gonna always like that person. You're not gonna always love yourself. So I think that it's a facade when it's deceptive for people to think that they will always love themselves. But I feel like when you create the attitude and the mindset, no matter what I do or don't do, I'm still loved because that's just who I am. So loving myself is a part of my identity. It's not a part of what I do. And so I feel like when you make your identity and what you do and in your my I don't love myself more or less if I don't achieve my goals. I can't, because some goals we all have. Give me a list of 100 goals. You're not going to complete all 100 of them to the exact way you may think you will. You will achieve a lot of your goals, whatever. But there are going to be some things you set out to do that you won't do. So am I going to not allow myself to love myself in that moment when I don't feel that? No. So that means I can't love myself conditionally. And that goes into like when it's conditionally versus unconditionally. And it just reminds me of a story when some people are saved by grace and some people are saved by their works. And so you have to get to the place of knowing that when you're saved by the grace, that you know that like it's not what I do or don't do. It's just I'm just loved.
Well, first I want to say, you said that you set out to do 100 goals. You want to do them all. I think if you really want to do all 100 goals, you will do them.
But there are some things that are just out of your thing. Like for example, if you say like right now, like, oh, like I want to perform at the Super Bowl or something. Like, not saying that this stuff is unrealistic, but there are some things that are just out of our skill set that are just not meant for us to do. I'm not gonna beat myself up if I don't do that.
If I don't make it to the NFL right now.
Yeah. Can you were you do that? It is about
like I know I won't.
Self-love is not about being Lulu all the time.
Right? No, okay, but I will say
you won't make 100 jump shots. You won't make 100 3-pointers right now.
No.
And you're gonna hate yourself if you miss them?
No, I agree with you. And I don't want to talk about, and I totally agree with you. And I think that there's a difference between like not hitting goals and some goals not being for you as you get closer there. Like as I've been like what is something like with acting. I really enjoy acting. And I had a goal before I started acting when I was gonna do my movie. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be the biggest movie star in the world. Now I do it and I'm like, this is so fun. But
well, you could though, because like
no, I know, and I know that like that probably will happen. But like I'm like it's just like okay, like I've got like especially after doing something, you're like, all right, like I don't need or don't need like some things are just like yeah, that was my goal. Okay, but I don't want to talk about the goal setting because I do think you can do whatever you want to do. I think you're gonna do everything you ever set out to achieve. I do everything that I've ever set out to achieve because we're Delulu in believing in ourselves. That is where you're allowed to. Yes, that is where you're allowed to be Delulu when you believe in yourself because no one else is gonna believe in yourself as much as you will, and like your mom.
I mean, some people don't have.
And yes, so. I am so lucky to have someone in my life that believes in me wholeheartedly. You might not have that, or you might have one, or you might have 5 of those people. It doesn't matter, but you need to lead the charge because other people's belief in you will not get you there. You have to believe in you first.
Yes, y'all. Like I feel like I've learned that like that's what self love has really stepped in for me. Because like I have like an emotional support, but like I don't know. Like I've had people that came in later in the journey where I'm trying to accept that more. But I feel like now it's just like at the end of the day, like I just feel like I truly believe in myself. But that's how you should feel. You should not put all your hope in other people.
And it's a getting older thing where as you get older, as you get removed from high school, I feel like ever since like going to school really warps your perception of like what relationships are supposed to be like, because those are conditional on like you're at the same school and you're blah blah blah. Like I have a friend right now who lives in New York who like I consider as one of my best friends. It's like that is an actual friendship. That's not conditional on us going to the same school. That's not conditional on us like having the same job. That's not conditional on us on even, you know, both being influencers, because we're not. Like it, you know what I mean? It's just like stuff that's meant for you kind of comes towards you when you start to walk towards that path. But you don't even, sometimes you don't even know you're walking the path. That just is like life happening to you. That's just like a byproduct of life.
That's definitely what happened to me. I remember I prayed about like doing social media, and I was like, I want to do social media, and then I had 1 million followers in 6 months. I didn't expect to do.
I got 1 million followers after 3 years, asshole.
That's why, like, you need help.
the Lord.
Yeah, but what you did in 3 years, God did for me in 6 months. And it's not about being false. Imagine what?
No, please continue.
And I'm not even being like arrogant or prideful or anything, but it's just like I'm just telling y'all, like this is just it happens. Sometimes it'll happen in the blink of an eye, and in the midnight hour, he will show up. Some of y'all may get what I'm putting down. If you don't get what I'm putting down, just skip to the other part of the video.
Wait. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You okay? You got 1 million followers in 6 months. When did you start TikTok?
2020.
2020. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I started in 2020, y'all. I'm almost at 3 million followers. Isn't that insane? Like,
That's insane.
I'm at 2.7. I'm almost at 2.8. But I feel like I feel like over this rebrand, this me being fully of who I am.
Dude,
I'm here 3
million. A month.
I'm here 3 million before the end of the month.
Yeah.
Wait.
No.
Wait, we have 2 days until the end of the month. Wait, let's do like another. Yeah. Let's like another year. Yeah. Let's like another month. But as I be authentic, the girls will say yes.
Authenticity, like.
Wait, so character. So let's just ask you this.
You know what's authentic is me not even like me standing up during the video. Like I don't want to sit down right now. You know what I mean? Like so I'm standing.
No, that's just being crazy. Like, sit down. Sit down. We're filming a video. But I want to ask you a question. What happened in your childhood that made you feel like you had to work for love?
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me grab my little toy that I like to play with. Okay. All right.
Y'all, he's fidgety.
Why do I feel like I need to work for my love? Well, I think. What made me feel like I need to work for? No, I broke it. It's not that. That's exactly what I thought after I caught myself yelling.
How old are you? I thought you broke my glasses for a second. I was like, wait.
No, I would not. I wouldn't even yell like that.
Where it's like, I'm about to beat this out.
Okay. Why do I feel like I need to work for my own love?
What happened that made you feel like it's conditional in this brain? Like, close your eyes and think about it. Okay, you don't have to have it right now. We can wait a minute. Family Feud break.
make silly faces while.
Okay, now I'll share why I do it too.
Okay. Can you share maybe that will bring up some memories?
The reason why I would at first work for my love is because. Wait, and I also want to say this: you can love yourself and completely. No, I'm not gonna say that because it's like that's like nuance, whatever. But I like grew up with my parents only affirming me when I made good grades.
I was just gonna say that.
So I thought that I was only loved in the capacity of how I performed. So I realized that it's like I don't have to be like this is like me saying like I'm loved only when I do this and I'm like a clown to people. Right now. Like, am I loved right now? I'm not doing anything.
Yes, you're loved. I love you right now.
No, I'm talking about for me though. This is self-love. Yeah, I love myself right now. I don't have like the BBL and like the veneers. I don't have perfect teeth. Like the
BBL and
like,
the veneers.
Yes, but I still will be at the top of the brand. Billboard. Yes. But I don't look like everybody else. Yeah, I don't look like KJ Appa or like
KJ Appa.
Gal
Gadot. You know Gal Gadot?
No, I don't. I don't look like Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
But I'm me though, and I love me for being me. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I just told him.
What was that?
Why be a good copy when you could be a great original?
Clocked.
I clocked that T, huh?
Clocked.
Clock that T, clock that T.
Clock that T. Oh, yeah, I think that the grades thing, totally. I think that I just, you know what? I think it was this also. I think it was grades, but also I moved around schools a lot. So I would make friends and like think that I made the best friends in my life. This is my best friend ever. And then, the school year be over and we move. And I got to go to a new school and go do it all again. And then I'd be like, all right, well, here I'm going to make real friends. And I was like, all right, I just got to do it all again. Because, like, I just had to keep doing it all again. And, like, this is how I figured out that being authentic is the best way to go about your life. Because, like, I can either hide who I was, until people really got to know me. And then, halfway into the year, people really get to know me. But I was so used to having to leave everyone that, like, I didn't want to waste any time being fake, that I just wanted to, that I was like, this is what I'm about. Like, are we going to be best friends or we're not going to be friends at all? But, like, I don't want to kind of be your friend. Like, I want to be your best friend because, like, I'm not going to have a lot of time here anyways. Like, and I think that's me really breaking it down right now.
And I think, too, from hearing your process, you were always looking for a friend, but you didn't realize that you had the opportunity to be your friend throughout that whole journey. And I think that when you're younger, nobody really raised the conversations of self-love. Is because a lot of our parents didn't love themselves either, because they just were trying to get the bills paid, or they're trying to make sure we were okay. Like, they loved us more than they loved themselves. So in the byproduct of that, they didn't teach us how to love ourselves because they didn't love themselves. And I feel like that's why, like, you can never do something for some, like, and that happened unconsciously. It's not that your parents thought, like, oh, let me teach him not to love himself, but they just,
for sure.
You just don't think about that. Like, my parents were the same way. Like, my mom, for example, she just opened up to me the other day. She's like, I really have a low self-esteem, and I was just like, it's so crazy because we look at our parents as superheroes and we think that they have it all together, but you're like, I was like, oh, Mom, like, I need to send you podcasts like I send everybody else. You need to send you the scriptures too.
Facts.
You're no loss to
Facts,
everybody
bro.
else.
Yeah.
You're no fountain than everybody else. You don't know, like, just as much as me.
So true, dude.
You just have more kids and a little bit more experience, but
oh my God.
Like I said, you could be moving, but in the wrong direction. So you've been moving for a couple years, but it's not in the right direction.
And that's I want to make a whole video on that, and just like, your parents are people too. Like, oh my God. Oh yeah, we'll do after this because this is a good video in itself. Yeah.
We should start a podcast.
Yeah, right. If you want to start we got to do it like a Barstool, how they do it, because everyone, because they do a video, and on Spotify, or they do a video. Have you seen your clips on TikTok? Or it's like, the Josh Richardson, Gabby, and Dave Portnoy.
Gabby.
Or not Gabby.
Bree.
The fuck, Bree. Yeah, Bree. And it's like they do a Zoom call. That's what we should do. That's how we'll have to do it. And but yeah, so I think that's how I thought my self-love was conditional. And so I find myself having to work for my self-love these days, because I also just feel like, I just like, see, I don't regret me smoking weed. I don't regret that, like, I used to, like, go out and party a lot. I don't regret any of that stuff, because I know that, like,
it builds you into who you are now.
Yeah, I know it makes me so confident where I'm at right now. But I do recognize that, like, that was time spent.
That you can't get back. I have time where I've spent so many days shrinking myself. And I'm working on that. I'm not hating that version of me, but I'm also, too, like...
You want to call him the Uber, but, like...
What you saying?
What did you say about he's standing on the road? He's standing on the road, and like, you're not gonna pick him up, but you call him an Uber.
Yeah, like, so I basically created this analogy where it was like, I keep
talking about old images of you.
I keep the old version of me, or my old self-image, in the rearview mirror, because I don't want to forget where I came from, so I don't fall into the same repetitive cycle. I want to own the lesson, but at the same time, I have to keep enough distance between me and him to where I can't go and pick him up. You have to call. I'll call you an Uber to go back to where you were, back in the past, because you don't exist anymore.
That's so good.
So I'm gonna own the lesson of who you are, but I'm not gonna allow who you were to confine me to where I'm going. Because you don't. My future does not look like my past. For the people, I'm gonna have to throw a funeral for the old version of me, and a lot of y'all are not going to be invited, but you will see TikTok clips. Period, and I cleared that.
I just think that's so true. All that stuff.
Yeah. And surround yourself with people that will not continuously remind you of your past, but people that will propel you to your future.
True.
Because if not, your brain, think about it, your memories, the only way they become present is if something triggered you to remember it. But your brain is trying to figure out and make grasp of like what's next, what's new, what's present. I'm present. So if I'm in the present right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Time is not going backwards. Look, every time I'm doing this, a second is going by. Every time you watch this video, a second is going by. The more time you spend thinking about what you did, you are living in the present, but repaying the past, and you're playing the mixtape of what already has happened, but you're not allowing yourself to live and make new things. The old me has passed away. I am pressing forward. And if you can't press forward with me, I'm gonna drop you off, nigga. And I got time today.
And I'm delivered. It's good shit, dude. This is good.
Oh, this is gonna help a lot of people, y'all.
This is good.
This is gonna help a lot of people, y'all.
You gotta ask yourself these questions, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lucky but this is just this is life aligning you with what's true to you. I started to take my life more seriously and take this stuff more seriously, and then me and you start hanging out. It's like, okay, life is a reflection of like what your inner monologue is.
And two, I've grown from friends that not only would affirm me in who I am, but I could see them living in their own authenticity, even if it doesn't look like how that authenticity looks on me. So, for example, I've had friends that will be like, oh, like, just be yourself, do this and that. But I would see them go and do the opposite. But I feel like your words have helped me so much because I see you say go and be who you are. People are going to hate you regardless. But I see you doing that exact same through the guy you're talking to.
Facts, though. So I walk the talk, yo.
Yeah, so the only way you will teach someone too, and I'm probably going to leave you off with this. The only way you're going to teach people stuff is if you are doing exactly what the fuck you are saying. Because the minute your words and your actions depart, and if you don't know how to close that gap, then these are two different people. What you're saying and what you're doing is two different people. You are using someone else's software while your mainframe is still in the same exact place. You're not clocking that T. Listen, y'all, I'm trying to talk with these parables and with these metaphors because that's what makes stuff more. You get it. You cannot be on what is it called? Just do what you need to do. I don't gotta give you everything, make it look cute and glitz and glam. You know what to do. Go do what you need to do. The 3 basic pillars of life: discipline, consistency, loving yourself throughout the process, and keep God first. If you are that girl, I know the girls probably are different on this side of YouTube, but I'm gonna be who I am because I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't include God in everything that
exactly. I do. And we value authenticity and being vulnerable here. That's what he's talking about. Say your shit. Say it. And also, who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? I'm not too good to listen to this message because I am not Christian. You know what I mean? Everyone has something to offer.
He's not delivered, and that's fine.
I'm not delivered, and that's fine. And yeah, I think that's good, dude. I think this is a great video. I appreciate you coming on here and chatting with me. Thank you for being so engaging and entertaining for my followers. Thank you for asking me good questions. Thank you for feeding into what I have going on here. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And
I want to touch on this last thing too.
Please do.
I remember me and Carrington, we were in the car talking, and he was like, I thank you for being, because we filmed our last video together yesterday. But I told him, I said something along the lines of and he kind of made a remark. He was like, oh, I don't get many views, but I was like, I see you for where you're going. But I said, even if you weren't going anywhere, you're doing something. So why would I not want to bring the fullness of who I am? Because it's so much easier for me to, y'all, the more knowledge and stuff you get, it becomes easier for you to like not dumb yourself down on purpose, but to make yourself seem like you don't know what you're talking about at all. But I feel like that wouldn't be a service to you. 'Cause I wouldn't be a good friend if I did that. If I tried to like just be like, oh, I'm just going to film for him, just to film for him. But it's like I want to add to your value. Like even if people see this that are from my people or people that are just gonna, I just genuinely think this video is gonna blow up just because like we're talking real shit. People need to hear this shit. But I'm saying, no matter what, like you should always want to put your best foot forward, no matter what you do for people. If you're gonna serve somebody, if you're gonna do something for someone, bring all of who you are, no matter how you feel, no matter what you're thinking. Like it's been times I'm mentally trying to get ready to film, and I feel like, oh, like what am I gonna say? Like whatever. But then when we start filming, I'm like, I'm giving it my all. Let's leave it. I'm gonna leave it on the floor.
Leave it all.
This is where I'm at right now in my life at 19 years old. And
yeah.
This is
He's 19. I'm 22, and we're having the same conversation.
October 24th.
Amazing. So proud of my friend. So bright and teaching me a lot. And
I think too, and this is a prophecy. I'm prophesying in a sense. I truly think that within the next 3 months, that if you continue to post every day, you're going to be more than 100K subscribers.
Sounds good to me, guys. Sounds good to me. Having reach, impacting people, and more people are going to keep it real. And the more people keep it real, the more fun everything's going to be, because people are going to be more out of pocket, and people are going to be more genuine, and people are going to say funnier shit, because I don't think that everyone is as... I don't think the dullness that some people might portray is true. I think that some people are not on your wavelength sometimes. That goes for everyone. But I think that everyone does have a lot to offer. I think that everyone does have a really funny side to them that can't shut up. And I think they also have a side that can listen. They have a side that cares about this, that, and that. They have a side that doesn't care about this and that. But I think that everyone, especially people watching this video, you guys all have something inside of you that has not been shown to the whole world yet. And I think that you are on a path to feel better showing that to the whole world. And I want to let you know that you don't need to write it in your journal. You don't need to write it as a to-do list. You don't need to tell your friend about it. You just need to turn the video off and just say, I am myself, and you need to walk the talk. Just walk it. Don't focus on talking about it. Lead by example. Lead by example. That's way more powerful than any YouTube video could ever teach you. Don't write it in your book. Make that the one thing you don't talk about. Just do it and let people watch. Love you guys. You guys are a lot stronger than you think you are. I appreciate you guys supporting me. You guys are the bomb.com, and be the person you wish you had in your life. Love you guys.
See you guys later. And I think truly, like within a year from today, like not only are the people in your life is going to change, but I feel like your life is going to change so much to the point where you're going to look back at these videos and you're going to be like, wow, like I have accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. And this is a declaration to anyone else that is out there listening, that whenever you stop sleeping on yourself and you finally waking up to who you are, you realize that success is literally your next step. And I feel like a year from now, not only will your YouTube channel be more blown up, but I think also too that you just will be so further along in your journey, because not only do you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom because you're walking it out, but also too you've achieved everything that you have ever wanted to do. And you're like, now I'm 23, and like now I have to redefine like what success looks like, because you're gonna hit every mark. And I truly believe in you.
I appreciate that. Give me a hug. Just give me a hug. I appreciate that. It means the world, man. I always appreciate the kind words, the help on the self-love, and it means a lot, and it has a big impact on me. So thank you.
And this is the last thing I'm gonna say is that like whenever I tell Carrington this stuff, I'm never saying it to make him feel better, but it's just something that I feel in my body. It's something that I feel in my
his body.
I think it's divine, but
I love that. I love that. I love that.
I love you, bro.
And this is also to reel it back. I have these conversations. If you watch on my channel and you appreciate what I have to say, guys, this is the person who I talk about this shit. This person is 19 years old. This person can't have a beer. Not that he'd want it, but like it blows me away. Arrington is, if you think I'm bright, Arrington's just as bright, if not brighter, and he is extremely well read. He doesn't put the book down. So you said nice things about me. I'm gonna say nice things about you. I think you're the bomb. You inspire me, and I appreciate having you in my life. Thanks for coming into my life, and thanks for all the help and everything. So I'll give you another hug. Love you, Arrington. This is great. And
wait, we should have
thanks,
like
guys.
This.
No, I don't even do thumbnails. I just posted it. I don't even set the thumbnail.
Period. You said my truth is gonna speak.
Okay, bye. Love you guys.